Nina cast a curious glance at the people walking behind Aiden. She raised her finger, pointing toward Aiden's direction, her voice soft but loud enough for Leonard Hale to hear. "Leonard Hale, what are they doing?" Her round eyes shifted from Aiden's broad, powerful back to the man sitting beside her. Leonard tightened his grip on her hand and pulled Nina toward the luxurious sofa. Losing balance, she fell straight onto his lap. Startled, she pressed both hands against his chest in a panic. Keeping a large distance between them, Nina's face flushed red like a ripe tomato, and her hands waved helplessly. "I'm sorry, Fel. I'm sorry." Avoiding his piercing gaze, Nina lowered her head. She wanted to get up and move to another sofa for more space. But unexpectedly, Leonard's firm hand pulled her back. She immediately understood he wasn't about to let her escape or fall again. His strength was just right to bring her back onto his lap, but this time, Leonard intentionally pulled her even closer. The position was extremely intimate. If any of his subordinates saw them like this, she would die of embarrassment. This cold-faced man truly had no shame. "Please don't. Your subordinates will see." Sensing her nervousness and fear, Leonard's thin, seductive lips curved slightly. His arms slid around her waist, pulling her tightly into his chest. The more she tried to push him away, the more he tightened his hold. Her waist felt like it was about to snap. Exhausted, Nina let him embrace her, their breaths brushing against each other. "So what if they see? Without my permission, none of them would dare look. If they do, I'll gouge out their eyes and deliver them to you." He can't be serious. Leonard's deep gaze traveled downward, immediately locking onto the curve of her chest. His body grew noticeably warmer. He lowered his head to her shoulder, placing affectionate kisses along her skin. Nina tried to dodge, but he suddenly bit her shoulder hard enough to sting. Her expression turned pale from shock and fear. Leonard's expression darkened. He quickly covered her small mouth with his hand, stopping her from screaming. "Do you want everyone to hear you?" She shook her head rapidly, obediently swallowing her voice. But Leonard continued teasing her body as if nothing had happened. Nina frowned, trying to avoid the kiss near her ear, but he was faster. His teeth brushed her ear as he whispered, "Baby, I'm getting hot." His warm breath hit her ear, making Nina tremble uncontrollably. "Leonard Hale, don't be like this." Nina sensed something strange the way his gaze burned holes into her chest. Her whole face turned even redder. This man was the definition of a pervert. Rip. Leonard yanked the fabric of her dress down, exposing her smooth, pale shoulder before his eyes. He kissed her shoulder gently, burying his face into her neck for a long moment, only stopping when Aiden arrived. Leonard quickly pulled Nina's dress back up for her. With a cold expression, he looked at Aiden. "We found the slippers. Where are they now?" "Inside Miss Nina's room." "Good, you may leave." Aiden bowed. "Understood." Leonard then looked down at the small girl trembling on his lap. Her fear made her entire body shake uncontrollably, and something inside him felt slightly displeased. Was she truly that afraid of his touch? Leonard lifted her chin, admiring her without the slightest boredom. "I'll spare you today. I'll make it up to you on our wedding night." After saying that, Leonard set her down on the sofa. Standing tall, he turned to leave, but not without giving a firm command. "Get ready, I'm taking you out tonight, you'll enjoy it." He tilted his head toward her, noticing Nina still staring blankly. His voice rose enough for the entire house to hear. "Hurry up, why are you frozen like that?" Snapping back to her senses, Nina quickly hurried toward her room. Why was her heart beating so fast? Why was her entire face burning up? Was something wrong with her? Leonard Hale and Nina left the Lan V and Sun Villa more than 10 minutes late. The BMW drove slowly along the pavement, passing rows of lush green trees, jewelry stores, and the tempting aroma of street food. Nina tilted her head to look outside, secretly longing this cold-faced man had never once taken her out of the villa, not even a single time. But today he suddenly arranged for her to go on a trip. He didn't look at her, only sat silently. Yet even so, he couldn't hide the cold academic aura surrounding him. Leonard Hale had to rush these days to finish up piles of high-level documents. His deep eyes were focused on the files on his lap. Nina stole glances at him, marveling internally why did someone like him have such unfairly perfect side features. When he worked seriously, he was handsome. When he smiled, her heart skipped. There was no denying it. Leonard Hale was exceptional. Freshly graduated from Harvard, he returned home to take over the Hale Corporation. For many years now, the name Leonard Hale had already appeared all over major electronic newspapers. Everyone scrambled to report about him. He paused for a moment, put the documents aside, and glanced toward her. Nina had been dozing off by the car door. Her little head leaned against the window. Her eyelashes relaxed. Her rosy lips slightly pursed. Her fair face was illuminated by the sunlight streaming in. Even her brows furrowed slightly. The car halted abruptly due to a sudden brake, causing Nina to hit her forehead hard against the front seat. Thud. Pain spread across Nina's forehead, making her wince. The sleepiness vanished. Her eyes fluttered open. She grabbed her sore forehead and turned toward Leonard. Just sitting still, and she still gets hit. Leonard Hale, why are you looking at me like that? It hurts so much. She held her forehead and complained to him. Leonard didn't answer her complaint. He only said a few neutral words, eyes shifting back to his documents. Because of you. I didn't tell you to fall asleep like that. No one knew that when Nina hit her head hard, he had to forcibly suppress his concern. He absolutely could not let others see his softness toward this girl. His status didn't allow him to show such things, because dangerous people were lurking everywhere. They waited for the moment he slipped. Leonard Hale had to protect Nina completely. Everything happening outside was already being observed by his cold, wolf-like eyes. The reason he broke protocol today, to bring along thousands of guards and escort Nina to Harsun Island for a night trip, was because the sadness and emptiness of the past few days had begun affecting his work, so he decided to take the little girl out for a comfortable night. This little thing had been stuck at home for so long she must have been bored. Leonard Hale, my head really hurts, she complained, rubbing her forehead while scolding him non-stop. Does it hurt a lot? He asked, genuine concern breaking through. Nina nodded lightly, her expression wronged, as if she would burst into tears any moment. Her soft sniffles tugged at his heart. He set the documents aside again and turned fully toward her. Come here, let me see. His voice was firm, an order given, just waiting for her to obey. His brows lowered slightly as he leaned forward and pulled her onto his lap. His hand gently cupped her face, his fingers brushing the swollen bump on her forehead. His tenderness once again sent her heart racing wildly. Does it still hurt? He asked, as he tenderly massaged the bruise, clearly with no intention of stopping. She didn't reply and Lee stared at him. To ease Nina's pain, Leonard Hale lowered his head and placed a soft kiss on her forehead. A sweet, floating kiss. His mood today finally eased a little. Does it still hurt? It's better, a bit better. After that, he continued holding her tightly on his lap, until her eyelashes fluttered and she slowly drifted back to sleep. The car kept moving, steady and quiet. But Aiden, driving up front, wasn't relaxed at all. His eyes flicked repeatedly at the rearview mirror. A black car had been following them closely for a while. Aiden had attempted to shake it off several times, but it stubbornly stayed on their tail. His nerves were tight. However, determined that car was Aiden was even calmer. He whipped the steering wheel around a curve. The black vehicle still clung to them like a leech. Aiden sped ahead, preparing to use tactics from his training. Leonard Hale sensed the abnormality as well, and could pick up parts of the situation behind them. He kept his eyes closed, acting as if nothing was happening.